Canon Lore. The story of Charles Entertainment Cheese begins in St. Marinera's orphanage. He loved playing games and has a particular passion for Happy Birthday song of only 6 words. Because Charles Entertainment Cheese was an orphan, no one knew when his birthday was, so he never had a birthday party of his own. This made Charles Entertainment Cheese sad. Charles took to celebrating young kids' birthdays instead, like a professional bachelor wedding crasher. It was at those parties he cultivated a passion for pizza and video games and cheese. Soon enough, he won a Pong video game tournament, which awarded him a cool $50 US. He used that money to purchase a bus ticket to New York and never looked back. Despite his freedom from the orphanage, Charles missed it. He had nowhere to stay. Charles Entertainment Cheese would sleep above the kitchen in a pizzeria run by a friendly Italian chef named Pascal. Charles Entertainment Cheese loved the smell of pizza. Plus, he had plenty of music Pascali would listen to and sing along to, the radio. It was a great place to live. The inevitable day came, where Pascali found Charles in his restaurant and freaked the fuck out. Not knowing what else to do, Charles sang. It was beautiful. Pascali was so shocked that he dropped his rolling pin. A mouse that could sing. My restaurant is sad. Then, in a cartoonish faux Italian accent, he said that I'm gonna make you a star. Pascali set up to be an attraction for his restaurant, a singing mouse. His first performance was a failure, and people started walking out. But when he belted out Happy Birthday, reception was better. As the years went by, Charles created a franchise for birthday, singing, pizza, and games, apparently creating the Chuck E. Cheese chain we all know and love. After his pizza business fell into ruin, Charles Entertainment Cheese resorted to a life of crime. He sold cracked cheese on the streets and was beat to death with a baseball bat after not giving an ad in his fix. But Charles wasn't done. He crawled his way back to civilization with a man repaired. He asked the man to give him better augmentations. The man indeed. Charles, a once beloved rat, now a powerful entity fueled with hatred and chaos in the gang that brought him down. Charles then proceeded to kill the entire gang that the addict belonged to, torturing them day by day. However, once Charles had the taste of blood, he got addicted to it. Charles now roams the streets killing whoever he wants, but as long as you have a Chuck E. Cheese token, only then he will spare you. He notably goes after people with cheese. Eventually, Charles Entertainment Cheese encountered a rival of equal proportions to him. The ominous entity known as Minecraft Steve, created by the United States government in order to eliminate Charles Entertainment Cheese. This battle lasted several hours, resulting in Charles' death. However, this would eventually lead to his remarkable Poggers life, thanks to a mysterious benefactor who brought him back, who backed up his memories and put him in a new suit. This Charles Entertainment Cheese is now hell-bent on eliminating all those who tried moving his path. Today he would encounter Minecraft Steve again, Steve's last. The only thing that is still known to have been shown in his research for cheese he leaves behind a slice of cheese at every location he appears. Cheese he gathered from his previous life. Charles Entertainment had many rivals that also tried to claim his head, such as the Battle of Orlando, which was a one-on-one duel with Mickey Mouse. However, as we know, Mickey Mouse lost. However, he only lost in physical form. While Mickey is now gone from this realm, he still lives on as the corporation that he started. Disney was the same corporation that brought Minecraft Steve into the mortal realm. Disney is not an animation studio, but is actually an undercover brainwashing system to make you think they are an animation studio, because in reality they are a DCorp. Munitions that is capable of dark arts. However, there is something that no one knows. Minecraft Steve is actually brainwashed and can't control his actions. He only follows orders from Disney. One of these orders was to execute Charles Entertainment. Perhaps Charles may uncover this and instead of killing Minecraft Steve, instead frees Minecraft Steve, and they rain siege to the government of the United States. However, he doesn't know about the brainwashing up until recently, when his informant Goofy came back with such news. Goofman's backstory. Goofy was originally a star of a children's entertainment show known as Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. At least, that's what DCorp wants you to think. Goofy was actually an assassin for DCorp, serving in many wars under the government of the United States, such as the Vietnam War, where he confirmed 237 kills, 65 unkilled. A trained killer that no man outside of the government knew of his power. However, Mickey Mouse, the ex-Supreme Leader of DCorp, was upset with Goofy since he started to steal the spotlight. Because of this, he got him enlisted to go on a mission that was actually a school full of children, and told him to act as crazy as possible. Goofy got caught as it was a setup, and was put on trial. This ended up getting Goofy in jail. But Goofy isn't stupid. After realizing it was set up, he broke out of prison and set off to find Charles Entertainment Cheese, as he knew that if anyone could bring entertainment and freedom to the world, it was him. Footage of the trail is linked below. Canon Lore continued. Charles Entertainment Cheese, upon hearing the news from Goofy and learning the situation about DCorp from him, he gradually begins to try to seek allies and corporations against DCorp, in an ultimate bid to gain power over all corporations. The first that he aligned himself with was DreamWorks, secretly also known as Dream Enterprise in much the same fashion as DCorp, although the two are indeed rivals. Dream Enterprise views Charles Entertainment Cheese as a powerful ally, and decides to join with him against DCorp. Them, along with the nations under Dream Enterprise such as Germany, India, Argentina, and Cuba, declare war on DCorp and its subsidiary nations. This starts the Fourth World War. The third started when Charles Entertainment Cheese and Mickey Mouse had their first engagements, and ended when Charles Entertainment Cheese beheaded Mickey Mouse in the Battle of Orlando. Research is pushed on all sides as others are being lost to history, such as color photography, leaving us with the picture above, where Charles Entertainment Cheese is the only one in color for his power exceeds all technological limitations, and is thus now redacted. The ominous entity known as Minecraft Steve worked as an opposing general to Charles Entertainment Cheese. They had many battles leading their respective men, but they never got into a one-on-one confrontation, despite Charles's efforts to try to talk to him. This is due to the fact that DCorp knows that Charles Entertainment Cheese knows that the ominous entity known as Minecraft Steve was brainwashed because of a bug that installed in Goofy secretly. However, more allies to Charles Entertainment Cheese were gained during the quantum portal fields that began appearing on the Earth after DCorp summoned Minecraft Steve. The way DCorp summoned Minecraft Steve was through a quantum-focused portal. However, they didn't know it was unstable and how many universes had collided with Earth-type CH3-35E. Some of these allies include Doom Guy, Isabelle from Animal Crossing, Gordon Freeman, Roblox Noob, and lastly, the TF2 Mercenaries. The TF2 Mercenaries, codenamed Sandwich, played a very important role. You see, Shrek, a great being, took retirement in Manchester, UK. In order to win the fight against DCorp, Dream Enterprise has to be fully armed, and with Onion Boy being retired, their power is significantly weakened. Because of this, Charles sends the TF2 mercenaries to Shrek's Pizza, the current home of Shrek, in order to restore Dream Enterprise to full strength. The following is the video of the journey. It turns out that Shrek has been captured, and DCorp has been taken over by Shrek's Pizza. After seeing this, Sandwich decides to lead a full frontal assault on the place in order to try and free Shrek from DCorp hands. After many hours, the TF2 mercenaries finally killed off all DCorp personnel within the building. However, the real fight had just begun. The quantum portals had made many allies from DCorp as well, as the TF2 mercenaries now had to face Freddy Fazbear from Five Nights at Freddy's. The war took days, but then ended when a heavy got out of cover and Taunt killed Freddy Fazbear, allowing Sandwich to return with Shrek back to America to prepare for the final battle. Or to the portal that had just opened to the lunar surface. Canon Lore facts. The spy, before he died, told Charles Entertainment Cheese to pretend to be his scout's father. Scout Variant 406 believed this 100%. Yes, just so you know, Charles Entertainment Cheese is indeed thick. The heavy that Cont killed Freddy Fazbear was more of the best fucking pizza ever created by Shrek. This pizza was created out of sandwiches, which made Heavy Variant 248 literally shit himself. Nautical footage of the raid on Shrek's pizza is linked below. Charles Entertainment Cheese isn't either naughty or nice. Charles Entertainment Cheese states that he does not need love, nor does he need affection. He needs bloodshed. The Saucy Sovereign then asked,
"What about cheese, though? Certainly you would like not just bloodshed, but cheese shed, too."
To which Charles Entertainment Cheese replied, "Blood is a requirement for my cheese. To have cheese head, you must have bloodshed tenfold." Crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room full of Charles Entertainment Cheese. Charles Entertainment Cheese made me crazy. Crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room full of Charles Entertainment Cheese. Charles Entertainment Cheese made me crazy. Crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A powerful rat named Charles Entertainment Cheese is canonically Arrow Ace. Charles Entertainment Cheese's friend, renowned chef and World War II veteran, Pascali died in the Battle of Orlando by Mickey Mouse. Non-canon lore. It has been theorized that Charles Entertainment Cheese worked alongside the Disney Corporation, in spite of their rivalry, and was also in cahoots with them during his time as a roaming marauder in the streets. It was also theorized that he went out of business because his dumpy was so thick it would pervert the children's eyes. It has also been theorized that Charles made a street gang called the Italian Cheese, being a rivalry of the Bloods that roam LA, going city to city to teach them you don't fuck with the cheese. It has been theorized that the Chuck E. Cheese Corporation, after the fall of Charles Entertainment Cheese as the CEO and founder of Chuck E. Cheese Corp, became a political entity pulling the strings of world governments across the globe in order to hunt down and execute Charles Entertainment Cheese. This is partially backed by the mixed mercenary bands hunting Charles Entertainment Cheese down, consisting of Russians, Brazilians, Chinese, and South Sudanese soldiers. But hey, that's just a theory. A cheese theory. An adaptation to the first theory spoken in this part has been presented due to new information being added to the canon. The new theory regards Charles Entertainment Cheese's early phases with him working with the Disney Corporation in spite of the company rivalry and the coots during the Marauder phase was merely a setup by DCorp in order to bring down Charles Entertainment Cheese, as he knew that he could become a threat to their plans. This also implied some sort of omniscience, as they would have known that Charles Entertainment Cheese would fall from grace at some point, and DCorp believed they could do nothing about it. But hey, that's just a theory. A cheese theory. Leaked footage of an unused and scrapped episode within the Charles Entertainment Cheese storyline has been leaked. It shows former President Obamacare using a Chaos Emerald live on television. There is less developed footage after this point, which shows that DCorp had given Barack Obama the Chaos Emerald in exchange for more power within the United States government, and further control over the nations with the US allied with. Barack Obama is yet to be seen on the screen, and the nature of this scrapped episode leaves this possibility as canon up in the air. However, most deem it as non-canon, as that's been alluded to, and seems to be an early adaptation of the story. The following footage was the footage that was scrapped.
Now, before we conclude, Mr. President, we have one more question from Twitter. It asks, there are concerns over the safety of America's cities ever since the space colony's attack on the moon. The tweet continues, what do you have to say about the theft of dangerous artifacts that could cause attacks like this to happen again?
You mean the Chaos Emeralds? I'm going to assume you mean the Chaos Emeralds, because if that's what you're concerned about, I've got one of them right here.
Chaos Emeralds, Mr. President! Put your hands up and turn around slowly.
Chaos Control!
Oh my God!
glass is to be eaten with a knife and fork. A pasta claw is also acceptable if 2 or more people are eating from the same dish.
Poggers!
How Disney World became its own government. Someone watched a video. It's canon. They do just have a Mickey Mouse dictatorship. It's RLO canon, though. Not a powerful rat named Charles Demon Cheese saga canon. DCorp going wild with the interrogation methods.
You didn't have to cut me off. Stick out like a never happened to know we were nothing. I don't even need your love, but you treat me like a stranger and I feel so loved. No, you didn't have to stop so long. Have your friends collect your records and then change your number. I said I don't need that though. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Now you're just somebody that I.
Another horrid DCorp invention. But hey, that's just a theory. A cheese theory. Thanks for watching. Have you ever heard the tragedy of a powerful rat named Charles Entertainment Cheese? I thought not. It's a story the DCorp wouldn't tell you. It's an entertainment legend. Charles Entertainment Cheese was an animatronic under Chuck E. Cheese, so powerful and so thick, he could use the blade to manipulate matter. He had such a knowledge of the blade that he managed to decapitate a foe from 200 feet away. The power of the blade leads to a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. He became so powerful, the only thing he feared was losing that power, which eventually, of course, he did. Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew. Then his apprentice killed him in his sleep. Ironic, he could save others from death, but not himself. GG, Goofy Goof. Greg has a Twitter account.
The actual fuck? That's crazy.
DCorp attempted to clone Chuck E. Cheese, but the cloning process failed and it turned into whatever the hell this is. It escaped into the woods and is yet to be found. The Redacted is theorized to be within Earth CH335e, thanks to the quantum portals. However, its existence is yet to be proven or alluded to in any way. But isn't this exactly what the Redacted wants us to think? But hey, that's just a theory. A cheese theory. Thanks for watching. Rock Lobster kills everyone. The end. Shrek was still hungry, so he ate a bolt of lightning. Yum, said Shrek. My diet is everything. You eat my food, said the cloud that made the lightning. Please, at least tip 20%. Okay, said Shrek. I will get your tip from my bag. Shrek reached into his bag for his gun. That killed clouds. The non-canon lore that was supposed to go here has been redacted. And I am Engineer Game.
I know I come off as silly and oblivious, but I have the same urges as anyone else. These primal animal cravings have persisted long after your mother's passing, and to this day I yearn for the next opportunity to take pleasure in the carnal union of flesh. Your dad doesn't just have sex, Maxie. Your dad fucks.
Into the Gregverse. Charles Entertainment Cheese, upon discovering the non-canon lore about him, states, "So this is the non-canon lore about me. Interesting. The world's greatest band. The Protagonist."
Zoom in. Enhance. Zoom in. Enhance. Zoom in. Enhance. Enhance. Now rotate the camera. Got you, son of a bitch.
The U.S. Army has deployed Freddy Fazbear into the Calv Scout ranks. A cut episode that details a counter-operation done by DCorp against Dream Enterprise following the assault on Shrek's Pizza is linked below.